usually work with small dogs because I don't usually need help getting out, but I saw this one on the website Waffles, and he just looked so weird I had to meet him in person. Well, turns out he's very shy and shut down and does need help getting out. But before I could work with him, Barnaby, his spicy chai roommate, convinced me to take him out instead, so we went for a little walk. And it turns out he was also having a hard time getting out. He's kind of bossy, so he was telling humans and dogs what to do, and it was turning adopters off. I was immediately charmed. His ears could fly an airplane, but I knew I wouldn't get near Waffles if Barnaby was in the kennel trying to steal the show, so I dropped him off in the small dog group where he met his match with this 4-year-old poodle mix who's available 9-9. And the small dog posturing began immediately. Also, though, Barnaby was adopted by the end of the day, and the poodle mix had to be removed from group for bothering the others. Meanwhile, back in the kennel, Waffles continued to hold his distance while his roommates became more and more curious about this intruder with treats. The boldest, or maybe hungriest of them was Grover, a 10-year-old Chihuahua who's not currently available, and I'm trying to find out why. He has scared on his kennel card, and I'm assuming that's the reason. The more I worked with Grover, the more curious Waffles became, and at one point he did a drive-by, but then he was out again just as quickly. I kept working with Grover and gained enough trust from him to take treats from me, but that was about as far as I could tell we would get in one session, and I didn't want to push it because little dogs have a pretty high bite risk, and I didn't want to do something stupid that would ultimately hurt him. Meanwhile, Cruella and Lulu, new arrivals from the day before who will not be available till 9:13, also got very curious. What was going on in here? Lulu is the Shih Tzu, and I tried to see if a treat would bring her closer. It did, and Cruella was definitely taking notes, but ultimately my treats were not high value enough to get her to overcome her fear. At one point, all their little faces were peering at me, and it was comical, but mostly just heartbreaking. Dogs of all sizes feel so much fear in the shelter, and the shy ones are penalized, often not considered adoptable. It's tragic. I still really wanted to work with Waffles, though, and I knew that I wasn't going to be able to with the others around, so I ended up closing the guillotine and isolating him in there with me. He continued to be curious, but mostly just panicked. I could finally see him up close. I saw that he didn't actually have a big head. He's just got a face full of scars. And his little underbite stabbed me right in the heart. I spent a long time trying to gain his trust, but after about 30 minutes, I gave up because, again, similar to Grover, I didn't want to do something stupid and push it and ultimately get him in trouble. Bite quarantine is awful for dogs, and sometimes it means the end of the road for them. I firmly believe, however, that with some time and patience, this guy would come around. He wasn't doing anything alarming. He just needed some time and space, and I was happy to give that to him. I do hope that this video has made you want to foster or adopt him, however, because he could certainly use a quiet place to decompress. He's available to foster or foster to adopt. The poodle mix is not named yet, but should be available 9-9. Grover isn't available for adoption, but you could inquire about fostering him. Lulu is available 9-13, similar to Cruella. They came in together over the weekend.